All right, everyone, this is Mark, Fractals and Forks on Sunday, January 7th. Hope you all had a nice New Year's celebration, and you're ready for the new year, and you know, kids go back to school, people coming back from the Hamptons, so the volatility should pick up, and hopefully the moves that we've seen over the last few weeks are gonna start making a lot more sense. All right, so I've got a lot to cover, so let's start with the DXY as usual. Monthly chart, what is there to say? Obviously we're below the 12-month moving average. I like that one. With this fork, we zoomed through the median line, we tested it again, we had a reversal, a monthly reversal here, and we're back below the median line, and I expect it to stay there below the median line. And over the next 2 months, maybe not quite this low, but you know, we should see an acceleration again of the demise of the dollar, so to speak. Even though when I look on Twitter, everybody is like, yeah, it's overdone, King Dollar's coming back. I really doubt that. So let's have a look at a weekly chart. Same picture, obviously. You know, trading around the median line, we're below it and we're going down. On a daily, I don't know what happened here. This is not really a gap, I don't think. So let's ignore this, and you know, we should go lower over the next well, maybe not this week, but next week, and I'll tell you why. If we look at a well, this is a 4-hour chart, but it will show a lot better on an hourly chart. I do think we're still going sideways a little bit before we go down. So let's say next week, or maybe on Friday already, Friday to next week, Monday, Tuesday, that's when it should start. Okay, let's go through the majors. You all know this chart, monthly euro dollar. Still thinking we're gonna touch that 50%, 21.65 or 67. You know, 50% retrace from this move up, this move down, I'm sorry. Weekly chart. Let me zoom in a little bit. So we got resistance from this line. Let me make that red too. I like it being red. And this one can go back to black, because I don't think we'll ever get down there anymore. So, you know, maybe we'll range trade between those red lines. What are levels? Obviously it's this is 1905. That should be really it for if there's downside, but a level to really look at would be 1955 to 1960, and we'll see this on a daily chart too. So this is the, you know, the level 1905, 1908, but the November high at 1969, 1965 approximately, that should you know, capped the decline that maybe, in my opinion, is not coming yet. I do think we're still gonna go up a bit this week to touch this 100% extension at 121.25. 4-hour chart, I don't know if I updated that. Well, don't have to update it. It's always the same. So let me drag this down a little bit. So that level I was just saying, 121.60, that would bring us right back to the upper parallel of this modified shift fork. Okay. All right, so let's go to dollar yen, and that has been really weird lately. I'll show it to you on a daily chart, but let's look at a monthly first. So if this modified shift is any good, was resistance here, then we should be capped on upside around 114, right? Probably a little bit below. So 113.90, that should really cap if there's any upside, which again I don't think so. So let's have a look at a weekly you know, trend line from 2015, still holding here. If you have a look at the line chart, you know, you can still see we're having lower highs. So I do think that the pressure, and especially with RSI here, I do think that the downside pressure is growing, and that we're going down. Okay, on the daily, and I wanted to show you there. Let me change this a little bit. So the daily, of course, same trend line, same pressure. Interesting here is the RSI trend line. You know, we touched it once, twice, 3 times now. Odds are that we're going to break to the downside. Now, if we do a comparison with gold, which usually has okay. All right, so this is like clear, you know. I mean, it has an inverse correlation with gold. Gold goes down, dollar yen goes up, right? Okay, this has been, you know, pretty nice for the for the last 5 years actually, but actually here, you know, gold was actually going higher than dollar yen was going lower, right? So this started like in September. Then the correlation, it's still there. It's still there a little bit, you know, but it's like a triangle here with dollar yen. Volatility or ATR is going down every day, and then around the middle of December, gold starts on this rampage up, and dollar yen is not doing anything. So that's weird. Something's got to give. Is it going to be dollar yen going down, which I think, or is it gold gonna that is gonna, you know, take a big dump? Because if dollar yen is going up here, then gold has to be done. I don't think so. I think gold is still going up a lot more. Anyway, so that was the comparison or the correlation with gold. Let's have a look at the Nikkei. Whoops, the PN225, FXCM1. All right. Now, same thing here. Should have a positive correlation with dollar yen. Has had it for like a long time, and then all of a sudden here, like in September, end of September, Nikkei takes off to the upside, and dollar yen is just ranging and actually going down, which is very weird too. So same thing here. Something's got to give. Is the Nikkei going to crash? And is dollar yen going down, or is dollar yen going to catch up with the Nikkei? And then we could have a monster move in dollar yen, which I don't think so. There's a number of reasons, and you know, inflation is slowly coming back in Japan. The end of the fiscal year in March, there will be repatriation of profits. There will be demand for Japanese yen. So there's a whole bunch of reasons why the yen should be stronger than it is now. Okay, quick look at a 4-hour chart. You've seen this. I posted this, and I thought that, you know, this red sliding parallel would hold. It didn't, but maybe it's a false break. So we'll see. I mean, this week is gonna be very interesting, because we'll definitely have to see some moves, especially with the dollar yen, that would indicate what actually is going on. Okay. Right. Yeah, I'm gonna do the monthly for the majors, and then for the others I will just look at weeklies and dailies. Dollar CAD, I don't know. Monthly chart. We're at the median line. We're at the median line. Are we gonna have a little bounce up and then zoom through it? I think we're still going down, so let me put it there, and then maybe a little bit of up move before the bigger move down, and ultimately you know, we're gonna be in the 110 area in a couple of months, probably. In a year or so, in 12 months, I mean. So 2019 February, that would also be the lower parallel right here. So 112, 111, something like that. Anyway, let's look at dollar CAD on a weekly. Let me switch back to hollow candles. On this fork, we haven't really reached the median line yet, but well, as you all know, I mean, this fork, it was instrumental, right? I mean, the median line was resistance. We zoomed through it, we tested it, we went down, we tested it again, was resistance, and now finally dollar CAD is breaking down, and dollar CAD, once it start moving, it doesn't stop, right? So I still think lots and lots of more downside on dollar CAD. Quick look at the daily. Let me get rid of the Nikkei here. Sorry about that. So on this chart, you know, we broke this trend line going back to 2012. We broke it again, and I think this time the break is for real. So more downside, right? Okay, what's next? Cable is I'm bullish cable, but I don't know. I really don't know what's going on here. It should have made a big move already. So maybe that's coming this month or next month, or there's still downside to cable, like 115, another low. You know, if this is wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, are we in a 4? Then, you know, then we need a 5th. So or is this just a 3? I don't know. I'm not an Elliott wave. I've said this hundreds of times, but it is, you know, if you see clear 4 waves, and wave 3 is in 3 waves, there's something fishy here. Okay. Pound dollar on the weekly. So I'm just going with you know, these sliding parallels and this trend line going from here to here. As long as we stay above it, you got to look up, you got to stay bullish, if only for the reason of a weak dollar. What the pound in itself will do with Brexit and so on, that is the big question here actually. So okay, if we look at this, then you know the target is 139.20, what is it, 24, which is a 38, which was support here. So that would be a target, the first target, and then maybe, you know, then down. But for the meantime, just look up, if only for the weaker dollar. If we do have a little bit of a correction here, then 134.20 should cap it, which is the December high. Sorry, is this? No, that's the you know, the high from the 3rd week of December. That's a level to hold. If it doesn't, then it's this weekly reversal level, 133.58. Maybe I need to put on my glasses, but all right, quick look at the daily. Let me type something. Okay, the daily, you know, the fork still running nicely in this fork with this 75 line, having been support all the time. Now we're attacking the median line. Let's see what happens. Well, we really need to see a move through it if we're gonna see 138. So very interesting next few days. Let me move this up. I do think we're gonna get there. You know, RSI above 60, below 60, and now it looks like it's going up again. The same with all the dollar pairs. The dollar really looks weak, if you ask me, except maybe against commodity currencies. So that's why, you know, Canadian, Australian, and New Zealand dollar, that they are going to do something different, in my opinion. Always the disclaimer, in my opinion. Okay. Yeah, same thing here on a 4-hour chart. That didn't really work out, so let's get rid of that. And still thinking we're going higher here. A little trend line here on the RSI. So let's take a low. That's from here you know, something like this. Whoops. Well, let's get rid of this. So I guess there's still, from an RSI trendline point of view, there's still a little bit of room, you know, to go down. Maybe this 4-hour reversal level, which 35.17 is possible, but generally I still think we're going up. All right, then Aussie monthly. All right, this was something I was trying. It's a bit of a fractal, you know. I mean, it's not bad. It comes from here. I think I copied it from here. So if we're really you know, in a bottoming process, then Aussie has a ways to go back above parity with the dollar in a couple of years. So, all right, let me just leave this here. Well, let me just delete it. Monthly chart, Aussie still looking up. We could be in for a little pullback, but I don't think so. Mostly on weakness of the dollar again. So monthly target for this month would definitely be 180, 0.80, 80 cents. I think that's still possible this month. Let's look at a weekly. So 80 would also be right smack at, you know, in 2 weeks, 3 weeks would be right smack at the median line, which would make perfect sense since, you know, this this fork has been instrumental. It was support here, it was support here, and then, you know, chances are like higher than 80% that the median line is going to get hit. So 80 is also here a weekly reversal level, so that would also match up. I gotta draw a line so I can remember to look at it one later. So exactly this level, 80 cents. So look for Aussie to hit 80 cents in the next 2, 3, 4 weeks. 3 weeks actually. Quick look at the daily. So Aussie, I still think this has some because RSI, look, it's high, but it's not the highest, and relative strength, it says it itself, it's strength. So as long as we don't see indications that RSI is pulling back, we still go up. At some point, obviously, so maybe at 80, like we saw on that weekly chart, we'll get some kind of a pullback, because obviously, you know, waves have to be there. So 80, a pullback, but then, you know, higher to 82, 83 cents maybe. Then let's look at Kiwi. Kiwi should have not gone this high yet. I'm not saying that I'm not bullish Kiwi, but you know, not this move. Obviously there's the RBNZ in March. Things aren't so hot in Kiwi land, so let me move this. I mean, ultimately I do think that that the Kiwi, but it's much more in the future than this. Yeah, this is 2019. I still think that you know, there's a bunch of problems still in New Zealand, and we still need to go down before we go up. So if we look at a weekly chart, and yeah, okay, this is not so clear, is it? Okay. Let me just zoom in and I'll clean up the chart later. I just wanted to show you this pink trend line, internal trend line. And I really also thought, you know, this should be resistance here. It was resistance here, it was resistance here, and then price just ignored it and, you know, went through it. This is the 55 weekly MA. We also went through that, so I think this move is overdone. But if it's really going to be dollar weakness even more, then yeah, also the Kiwi will be unstoppable. Next level would be this 23.6, also this parallel, this red one, which, you know, was kind of support and resistance a few times. Not very reliable, but still. So 72.58 would be the next target. Do think that we're ripe for a little pullback though. So what I'm thinking is back to the 2018 open and then up. So that's 60-70 pips down first. Maybe retest this daily 200 before going up again. Okay, that was it for the May. Well, maybe not. Let's look at dollar Swissy, which is really interesting. This is the monthly. You know, you can't see a lot, and you're like thinking, okay, why do you have these targets? So let's go to a weekly, and then, you know, things should become a lot clearer. If we zoom out, we got this fork, right? Yeah, this is not really precise. I just drew it like I thought it would. But let's check this as a trend line, and we're with the RSI trend line. We've been, you know, hitting it, and finally we're going down, and I think this is going to break down like big time. So first target would be the 100% extension at 91.16, and I do think we're still going lower though. 85.45 actually. The 161. I don't think we can go any lower than that. So let me take this 200 out. Oh yeah. So I think we're going all the way down here, and retest the spike low on the SMB intervention. On a daily, so this is a lot clearer. You know, we tested a 200 one time, 2 times, 3 times last week. It's time to go down. So first here, then here, then here. So something, you know, it's what I think that could happen. I just got this this gray fork here to have some resistance. If we're still going up, then this median line of this fork should be resistance before we continue on the merry way down. All right. I have to pause this video, the recording, a little bit. I've got to get something to drink, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. All right, let's have a look at some crosses. And one cross that I really think is interesting is the Aussie Kiwi. And I know I've been kind of obsessed about it the last few weeks, but it still has great potential. And I think we hit a low. You know, a tradable retracement on Friday. So this is a monthly. So as you can see, you know, this fork nicely running into it. The 50 line was resistance, and we're here at the 50 line as support. So the symmetry is there. We should be going up here. A weekly chart, let me zoom in, and I especially made those 50 lines in purple so you could see, you know, resistance here, and support here and support here. So looking up at least 112 and 113.70, you know, by the end of March is definitely possible. On a daily, nice fork too. You know, this sliding parallel here, the red one, support here, the next leg up, you know, kind of support here, a reversal here, support here, and we're back at it, and it was support, or hopefully it is support. Not much to say. It would be something to buy right now at the open when the spreads go down. And why am I saying that? It's because how can I show you this? Well, you know, the NFP hourly, I can't show it here, but the hourly candle on the NFP release, that was a high volume level, and that candle closed at 109.53, and that should be support. So if we're here at a weekly, which candle was that? So it was this one. Well, it's 109.55 here, but okay, let's not care about 1 or 2 pips. So this should definitely be support, because that's a high volume level. So if we're still, you know, during Asia or before Asia opens, that if we're going to test this again, that would be a really good level to buy. Or, you know, we might just go to the upside. If we're looking here, we got 109.75, so it's actually gapping up a few pips. If it stays like this at the open. Okay, that was Aussie Kiwi. What else? Let's look at some pound pairs, some pound crosses, I mean. pound Aussie, back at this 61 extension. Could go a little bit lower at this monthly reversal level, around 170.75, but I do think that we're back at support, and you know, we're going up. Probably easier to see on a daily, on the weekly. Yes, sorry. Really nice here. The same modified shift fork as on the monthly, but here we have a normal fork, and we're right at the lower parallel. Chances that you know, we're gonna bounce from there are higher than 50% in my opinion. So look for a bounce here at least, and looking up. Just look at it daily quickly. Yeah, well, obviously the same thing. RSI, this has been a level, you know, which was resistance and support, resistance, support, and we're back. We tested it twice, and looks like we're, you know, we're getting a little bit of divergence here. Lower price, higher RSI, so that's a good signal or sign that we might just be respecting this lower parallel and that we're going up. Let me forget about the monthlies for here, but let's look at pound Kiwi. Basically the same picture, right? Support, RSI, horizontal support. We could be going up from here. Looking on a daily. Daily reversal level here, which could be support. We did go a little bit below here, but let's keep this on our radars. And I think I have a trade open with I moved the stop to 188.70. That should hold. Just hope I don't get stopped out with a spread at the open, but if that holds, then you know, it could be, not saying that we're really taking off on the upside, but should be at least 100 to 140 pips to take if we bounce off this level. Pound CAD. Pound CAD at a very interesting level too. Weekly support here, and also the 55 moving average weekly. So also thinking, yeah, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, we need a fifth wave, and it can't go down a lot more because, you know, wave 4 and wave 1 can overlap. So it's now or never to go up and to get that fifth wave here. If we look at the daily, on a daily we still have scope. Yeah, I thought we were going to go a bit lower and touch this level on Friday, but we didn't. And we held at the 200 MA, so yeah, could be that this was the opportunity to buy this thing on Friday, but let's see on the open. What else? Let's look at some euro crosses. Euro Japanese yen. Um, I really thought, you know, well, first of all, I thought we were not going to get higher than 134.28, but look at this, you know, we're almost 200 pips higher. Well, we were 200 pips higher. Interesting though that this sliding parallel, it held to the pip. With expected yen strength, we could be in an area, you know, where we will finally see the turn. Euro yen is definitely ripe for a pullback, a bigger pullback. So is it going to be from here or higher? Let's see. I don't have to go to a daily, it's the same picture. Euro Aussie, on the other hand, is quite interesting. In it that I think we could see some downside, but actually on the daily, let me see. Yeah, same picture, yeah. So some downside. First of all, you know, this fork, you know, it hasn't been, there weren't any touches or anything, but would be an indication we went up. We're gonna retest it. We're gonna retest it, and maybe we're gonna retest the 55 weekly moving average. So in about, what is it, about 4 or 5 weeks, we could be down here, which is the 50 line of this modified shift fork. So a possibility that we go down like 300 pips, and then maybe probably more upside, but let's see. Same thing here. You know, let's go down a little bit and then up again. That would make sense. Obviously it's not. It would mean we would go back down to this sliding parallel together with the 200 moving average. But I like this on the downside. What else? Euro CAD. Euro CAD, a little bit more downside and then upside. Same thing as Euro Aussie. Even though I do think this won't be a lot. This trend line would be interesting. We're on a weekly, so next week if we can get down to 148, so 130 pips lower, that could be a buy if this trend line is going to hold. Daily Euro CAD. Yeah, so this is where I indicated the trend line. So lower then higher. What else? Yeah, I showed dollar Swedish krona. That's actually a subscriber, Sudindra, who got my attention to this, and actually, you know, it's like really sweet. The median line was resistance. You know, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 waves, so 5th wave down should bring us to 7.6020. That would be textbook stuff, right? Especially also with the confluences here with the 50% retracement at the 161.8 extension from here, and a bit of a confluence with the 200 extension and the 61.8 retracement. So very nice, this one. And dollar NOK, almost the same thing. Also a nice chart. You know, been going down relentlessly. I should have looked at this more often. So here I'm thinking, if you want to get in, if we can get a pullback to here, well, approximately 116.75 to what am I saying? One. Let me look. Let me see. So yeah, so I mean, where the circle is, basically, the underside or the middle of the circle would be a nice place to take this down, because here it's too late to get in right now. Okay, maybe gold. Have a look at gold. And I'm planning to do little videos, you know, next week every day. Maybe not of all the pairs, but the ones that well, maybe moved and are interesting. So maybe it's 1 or 2 pairs a day, maybe it's 5. We'll see. And I have to take a sip. All right. So if gold is going to have a pullback, these are the levels I would look at. First of all, 1303, which was the reversal level here, the weekly reversal level. That was resistance here. We broke it, so that should be support. If it goes lower, you know, the next levels would be 1293, 1296. If we go lower than that, then the whole you know, thing with Nikkei and dollar yen, that whole logic is gonna fall apart. On a daily, so on a daily, maybe up a little bit more, 1333, before a pullback to test the median line, which by the way, I like this a lot too. You know, this shift fork, the median line with not precise resistance, but you know, if you take a sliding parallel off of this, which I will do right now to show you. Hang on, sometimes it's really difficult to make this at the exact level. There we go. So if we look at this, you know, if we put it precisely at the top here, then, you know, 1333 in 1-2 days, that would be ideal for a pullback, and then higher. Okay, silver, little smiley face, still working. Also, like this, same as on gold, the modified shift fork was, you know, support. If I'd have known that, then I would have gone all in here and not at this level. So yeah, silver, look up. Silver is still about to outperform gold. So you know, silver up, little pullback, and then, so let me do this, either to here or to here, then looking for a pullback around here, and then further upside to yeah, the potential is huge. I don't know, those of you that have been longer with FNF, you know this chart. So potential is huge, and especially if you think we're having a repeat of this structure, right? If we're doing the same thing right here, then the sky's the limit. Okay, I don't know what else. Let's look at the DAX maybe. Not DAX, JAR30. I thought the start of the pullback was here, right? This is where we closed the year, and I thought, you know, okay, if we can get below the 200, we're going back down. And then in the last 4 days we've shot up again. So if there's any resistance, that should be 1336 to 13400, let's call it that, 13400. If not, then we're gonna see higher highs, in my opinion. Then and I have to take the auto off. Then we're looking at the same thing as the S&P. It just keeps going up, keeps going up. We could hit 15,000 this year. So don't know. I don't see it happening, but not with the DAX anyway. Which is you know, calculated differently than the S&P. Yeah. So S&P, I don't know what to say. This fork has been really nice with support here, even if it was a spike. But the parallels have been very nice. So the upper parallel is here. Are we going to turn here or not? Who knows? Who knows? Okay, I'm going to stop it here. Like I said, if you have pairs or indices or anything that you want to you know, have charted, then let me know. Otherwise, let me show you on the website. You can always go, hang on, let me drag this window here. So everybody knows you can go to Forks, you can look at it per time frame. You know, you choose, okay, which time frame. Let's look at dailies. And you got all the daily charts, you know, that you can look at. If you click on it, they become better visible. If you want, so, you know, monthly, weekly, daily. If you want to look at something in particular, you just click on here, a specific pair, and then, you know, you have the hourly, the weekly, the monthly, same thing. You can click on it. There's copper too. If there's anything that you really follow and trade a lot, let me know, then I will add it. What I will do over the next week is also those live charts. You know, the hourlies and the 4 hours need to be updated. Is it coming or not? Did I click? Not here. Ah, there we are. You know, obviously the hourlies and the 4 hours are you know, older, so they need to be updated. The dailies I would like to keep, and oh, this is what I wanted to show you. So let me make this bigger. This is you know, a chart. The live chart is from May, end of May. So let's see what happened in the meantime. And this is what I wanted to show you, this fork. You know, the fork from May on the daily. Sure, we went out of it, almost back into it, out of it, and then we went back into it. And look at this one. You know, it was support here, it was support here. And this is a fork that was drawn in May, and it was support in November and December. This is like kind of wild, right? So that's why I want to keep the dailies and the weeklies, because, you know, if you look at the weekly, same thing here. Fork still valid, trading around it, trading around it. I do think here we're going to get some upside, right? So it's very interesting to you know, see the stuff that you've drawn months ago, to see that months later that is still valid, right? What else? Yeah, so you know, trades, I added this trade analysis. You can see per, you know, there's a bunch of stuff that you can see here. Obviously the first week here wasn't that great. You can see open orders, sort them if you want. Yeah, anyway, so I think this is interesting. Once we get more data, the analysis part here, you know, will become more interesting to look at, especially you know, daily pips, for instance, or which day of the week, and so on. But you know, there's not a lot of data, so not interesting right now, but in the future it will be. That is it. So thank you if you sat through this entire video, and I will, like I said, I will do this on a daily basis with the pairs that are worth mentioning. Thank you. Have a good day.